Hello, everyone. Good to be with you again. Today, I have a very distinguished guest with us. He is Dr. Badri Narayanan Gopalakrishnan. I'll just call him Mr. Narayanan. He's an economist and he's recently been working in the NITI Aayog. Now he's a fellow of the NITI Aayog. He's now back in the US. But when he was in Delhi, he was the head of many verticals there in the NITI Aayog, including free international trade, Vision India 2047, and several others. So I'm going to ask him to tell us something about the NITI Aayog and what he did there. And at the end, he will tell us whether it was fun to work there. So over to you, Mr. Narayanan.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mathur, for having me here. I'm really delighted to talk to the viewers. As many of us know, Planning Commission was an institution that was in the country for a long time, and for various reasons, again, we may appreciate, it was disbanded in 2014, and it was the discussions about that was happening even before that. And while disbanding, the new institution was formed, and that was named as NITI Aayog. Niti in Hindi means policy. Aayog is commission, so it's basically literal translation is policy commission. Niti also stands for National Institution for Transforming India, which already gives you an idea as to what it does. It's basically entrusted with the responsibility of developing policies and strategies to transform India in a positive way. And it has several functions, and I can keep talking a lot of for many long hours about them, but I'm going to keep it very crisp. Just three broad functions. The first is coordination between different ministries. Many times industrialists and others who want to accomplish something, they find it very hard to do that in India and many democracies for that matter, because every particular problem has a cross-functional perspective. So it cannot be, if you go to Ministry of Commerce, there may be some elements that have to be handled by Ministry of Agriculture or Ministry of Fertilizers and so on. So that can be a lot of ministries involved. So that is why there is a need for an organization which is empowered and which comes directly under the Prime Minister, which can do this coordination between different ministries to solve problems. It can be problem oriented and solve them by coordinating between different ministries. That is the first thing. The second thing is acting as a think tank of the government's own think tank. Not in the traditional sense of a think tank where you write papers and so on, but more about solving problems. Intellectually, not only intellectually thinking about them, but also solving problems, coming up with policies, developing new policies and programs, and also vetting the policies and programs that are developed by other institutions, ministries, and so on. So in some ways, in every single policy that India has implemented since 2014 has a NITI Aayog stamp on it. So that is the way to think about it. The third aspect is state-central coordination. So the state governments and the central government need to be coordinated on various aspects. So that part is done by NITI Aayog. So many of us act as the representatives of central government in the states that we are given in charge of, and at the same time the representative of the state government, those state governments in the central government. So we act as a liaison between the two, and these are the three broad functions. Now coming to what I was doing there, I took up a position as a lead advisor and head of a few verticals. To begin with, I was handling trade and commerce, which is all about international trade policy, about export promotion, reducing dependence on imports, negotiating free trade agreements, and so on, and all the allied things in terms of logistics, development, and so on. So that was, and there my line ministry was Department of Commerce, Ministry of Commerce. And secondly, I was given the vertical of international cooperation and strategic economic dialogue. So international cooperation is general cooperation among with other countries, which is not negotiation based, but more of discussion and dialogue. And it could be many topics like sustainable development, poverty reduction, green economy, infrastructure cooperation, and so on. So, and strategic economic dialogue is a very special form of international cooperation, which India has been doing with a bunch of countries, and NITI Aayog is the focal point for that. And in these aspects, the line ministry was Ministry of External Affairs, MEA. Then the other responsibility that came to me was vision for India at 2047. So we are celebrating 100th year of independence in 25 years, and we need to have a very clear-cut vision, and that again has to be very cross-cutting. So there, my job was to get the collective vision of the entire government and develop a vision, and also come up with roadmaps as to how do we get there. If you want to be there in 2047, we want to be, we might have heard of this word, Viksit Bharat. So India as a developed country in 2047. So what should be the ingredients of that? And how do we get there starting from now? What are the short-term roadmap, medium-term, and so on? So that is another thing which I'm actually continuing to work on. I kind of finished it while I was there, and now I'm improvising on it and working with the vice chairman of this. So these are the different aspects there. And in terms of the organizational structure of NITI Aayog, so as we all know, the chairperson is the Prime Minister, and next to him is the vice chairman, who is a cabinet member of the cabinet. And then we have 4 members right now, and they are members of state, and ministers of state. And then we have the CEO, who is the secretary to the union government. And next is the set of advisors, senior advisors, of which I was one. And we were entrusted with heading different divisions.
Yeah.
And we are also given states. So, for example, I was handling Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry, 2 states.
Right.
And typically that is also given based on the comfort levels we have. Like I speak Tamil and other kind of Tamil, so we thought, I'll be good to handle this. So this is a broad introduction about what NITI Aayog.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Now tell us, was it fun to work there? Was it hard work, boring? What is it like?
It's a lot of fun actually for me, and given that I come from a research and consulting kind of background, so being in a decision-making position, but at the same time, as I mentioned before, it's kind of an insider-outsider kind of position. So you're part of the government, but at the same time, you have the vantage position of being able to think. So it was a lot of fun from that sense, and we also had a lot of young, versatile people from different organizations, different industries, different types of experience. So that was really fun, and definitely there's a lot of hard work also, because we have to, whatever we do is going to impact 1/6 of the mankind. So we have to be very careful. We have to be very diligent. So a lot of hard work. And another part of fun is that I was able to connect with the government people, work with a lot of people across the country. I also traveled across the country to meet people, and also a lot of different people would come and meet me from different walks of life, starting from the top industrialist to common man, citizen, a poor person. So it was a really eye-opening experience for me. It was a lot of fun and hard work, both. Yeah.
Would you recommend to young people that they should look for an internship or job or something like that at the NITI Aayog?
Yeah, absolutely. Internship at NITI Aayog is quite, popular. Lot of young students keep applying, and every day we get like dozens of applications, and so that is definitely a lot of fun because they get into the organization and they work on live projects. So that's a really good thing. Also, there are positions like young professional, which is actually meant for early stage professionals who have for example, a master's and a few years experience. So definitely the kind of experience, the advantage they're going to have is in their area of expertise, whatever expertise they're able to build now, they can, this will be the opportunity for them to contribute the most in their lifetime. It's kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity. Because, for example, there's the green hydrogen initiative that was pioneered by NITI Aayog. It was done by a couple of young professionals who were pretty young, but they were able to drive the whole thing actually because of their expertise in that. So that's the kind of impact they can create, and it will add to their CV also. It will also add to their career as well.
Oh, very important. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Narayanan, so much. It's really fascinating. We have heard from an insider as to what it is, and very good advice you have given to young people. And so that's it for today for us. To the viewers, I'll be back with another speaker next time. Till then, bye from me.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.